Hi, my name is Madhusudan. I am the Chief Technology Officer and Head of Central Architecture Group at Mindtree. The Central Architecture Group is a very strategic and niche and elite group at Mindtree. Between the architects, we have 300 plus person years of architecting experience across various functional and technical domains. As part of the CTO organization, we realized that the technologies are moving so fast and there are number of technology domains that are emerging, and technology in each of those domains are moving very fast. So we wanted to focus on some of the emerging technologies in each of those areas and then see how we can apply them in our customers' context. So we created 3 centers of excellence under CTO office.
Our open platform COE focuses on Java and related technologies, platforms and frameworks. Today, if we were to look at the world that we are in, we are no longer in the O and standard imperative-based programming kind of a paradigm. We really shifted base to a lot more reactive and functional kind of a paradigm. So what we have done right now as part of the open platform COE is that we're focusing on a slew of technologies other than the regular Java stack. So we focus on Akka, we focus on Erlang, we focus on Scala. These are some of the things that are making the rounds today. The other thing that we also do is to work on various elements like the entire stack around Hazelcast, Elasticsearch and so on, which are again things that are important from a scalability standpoint. As a result, what we've also done is we've just said, we don't really want to just play with these technologies. We also want to ensure that there is a certain amount of reality to it. So we have built a reference implementation around the stack. So that is one thing. The other that we are also doing as part of this is to compare each of these platforms and frameworks and see which one works well, which one doesn't. That is what gives us the capability to make a point of view and a judgment in terms of what Mindtree should focus on. So that's the responsibility of the Center of Excellence here.
The other COE that we created was Microsoft COE. So in this, we wanted to explore all the emerging technologies in the Microsoft space. So be it the next version of .NET, the next version of SQL Server, what's happening on Microsoft Azure, how to build private cloud solutions using Azure Pack, how do we leverage the cloud in a box product of Microsoft and build solutions for our customers. How do we leverage Microsoft Azure and the IoT technologies that Microsoft is building in terms of stream analytics and so on, to again explore some of the interesting use cases in the retail space, airline space, insurance space, and so on.
Our web technology COE focuses on front-end technologies. We also focus on technologies and frameworks and platforms that are beyond just talking about JavaScript and so on. Because the way we see it is that today's world has evolved beyond just server-side programming. The client side is equally rich. So if you think about it, things like client-side MVC, things like the service-oriented front-end architecture, each of these things are really the new face of the front-end today. And so as part of this technology COE, we focus on various things around frameworks such as AngularJS, Node.js, Backbone and so on, as well as some of the deeper elements like the mean stacks of Mongo, Express, Angular and Node. These allow us to create out our points of view around which of these frameworks works in what context. It allows us to create out specific areas wherein we say this is better than that and so on. So this is where we see the strength as the web technologies platform COE, because we believe that at the end of the day, the front end as well as the server side is equally important, and that is what goes to making a rich interactive application that is suitable for today's modern applications.
I'm going to speak of 3 reasons why I like being part of this group. Firstly, it's about the avenues of learning. As being part of this group means you have direct access to architects who specialize in specific areas of technology like security or data, or specific business domains like BFSI or let's say travel. And this means that the next time I am, let's say, architecting a fraud detection system, I can directly reach out to an architect who's worked on BFSI or who works in the BFSI domain to try and understand the issues he faced when he's either worked with a fraud detection product, or or when he's architected a fraud detection product. So that ensures that I can come out with quality solutions quickly. The second point that I'd like to make is with regards to diversity of work. Now, I know that technology is just an enabler, but when you are working with the same platform or product or technology for a long time, you can get bored. Now, CAG gives you the opportunity to switch streams if you want to. So in my specific case, over the last 4 years, I worked on next-gen UI frameworks, I've worked on big data solutions, and I'm currently architecting a large-scale SOA-based system. My last point is that of sense of achievement. When you work, you definitely need to be proud of the work that you're doing. You need to have that sense of achievement. From that standpoint, I know for a fact that when I'm part of the CAG, I will be working on the most complex projects that are going to be executed in Mindtree. From that standpoint, I've been fortunate enough to be part of the UID program, where I've developed components which will ensure that we provide financial inclusion to 1.2 billion people in the country. I'm currently working on a program where we are building the next gen departure control system, and which I know when it's going to be used by an airline or an airport will directly be responsible for great passenger experience. I'll be directly responsible for profits of an airline, and I'll be directly responsible for ensuring safety of passengers on their flight.
I am proud to be part of this group, and I would like to say why this group is at the right time and at the right place according to me. The IT industry expectations are changing a lot with respect to automation, agile technologies, and changing technologies and tools. So customers are more and more asking for people with depth in their focus area. So the future belongs to specialists, whether be it architects in the technology stream or consultants in the domain stream.
My team is building reference architecture and solution accelerators around next version of Windows 8, ASP.NET version next, and Windows 8 based line of business applications.
Some of the very complex solutions we have developed that most people are aware of are like Aadhaar, where we gave identity for 1 billion plus citizens using mostly open source components and architecture patterns like stage event driven architecture and SOA, and using all open source technologies and like Mule, Spring, RabbitMQ, R, Hive, and Hadoop stack, and so on. We also developed a very complex set of product portfolio for one of the large leader in the travel service solution providers in the world, using SOA principles and Oracle stack. We have developed a very complex global solution for one of the CPG giants in the world for their trade promotion management. And this is something that we developed like a product which is being rolled out across all their countries that they operate in.